Welcome into the Greater Texas Ford Dealers inaugural Female Athlete of the Month. From Texarkana to El Paso, the Panhandle to San Angelo, the Permian Basin to East Texas, Waco, Wichita Falls to Lubbock, and many points in between. We celebrate the remarkable achievements of female high school athletes based on performances on and off the field and courts. From Class 6A to private schools, it's the Greater Texas Ford Dealers Female Athlete of the Month. Joining me now, one of the best softball players in the state of Texas, Madisson Pedraza of Dalhart High School. She is getting it done, and she is the Class 3A Greater Texas Ford Dealers Female Athlete of the Month. Well, so great to celebrate you, Maddie. What did you think when you heard that you were the best in Texas?
I was really shaking and I was very surprised. It's such an honor and thank you for considering me.
Well, we hear that you go above and beyond for your team. There's no better team player than you. What drives you to do that for your teammates, to do whatever it takes to make them win?
Honestly, they're a family to me. It makes me I'm successful when they're successful. It's just all about teamwork and just working with each other, having good attitudes, and I just love it.
Well, you've been doing a great job, and I know you'll play any position. You know, primarily you'll play at shortstop, but you can play in the outfield if you're called upon. You'll even pitch. How do you pull that off playing all these multiple positions?
Well, I played travel for like 2 years with mass instruction. They've really helped me um like get better, and just having confidence in myself really is like what makes me great out there and thrive and show my hard work.
Well, I look at the numbers you've put up, and it's like watching a video game. It's crazy. You're hitting 550. You got an on-base percentage of 630 and above most of the time. You're slugging 1,000. What is the one stat that you take the most pride in? I know you hit a lot of home runs as well, but what is the one that you look at and say, okay, that's the one I really care about?
I would say my fielding stats. It's very, you get very nervous out there, and I take pride in that and just, doing my thing.
Well,
Mm.
your mom talks about how when you get thrown into adverse situations, that's usually when you shine the most. You know, like you got thrown into pitch and maybe out of your comfort zone a little bit, but then you performed and performed at a very high level. How do you pull that off?
My attitude. I think I I just I have confidence in myself, and I always try to start an upbeat, in the circle, and it just helps me thrive.
Well, I know with softball, there's so much failure, right? You know, it's easy to get into a slump. And I know recently you had this slump, and then yet you break out of it at a very prestigious tournament in Lubbock where the bases were loaded. And you came up and you hit a grand slam to help your team go on to win. Now, in those situations, it always seems to me like the better players in the state, which you definitely are, love to shine when the lights are the brightest. What is it about the big stage that you really enjoy?
Just I guess the audience and just them cheering you on, your teammates cheering you on, the coaches watching you. You're in like a very nervous position. You have to do your best, and you know, you have to show up.
Well, you are in a very unique situation where your older sister is your coach, Tabitha. Tell me
Mhm.
about that dynamic and how you guys kind of pull that off without strangling each other.
It's definitely hard, and I have been mean to her sometimes. I shouldn't have. I try to do my best. It's hard because she's my sister, but we've done good so far. I mean, I think once it's just we butt heads, but I think that's it.
Well, it's funny because your mom talks about how it's kind of a blessing and a curse at the same time that the two of you guys are out there competing together, as one team. But then she gets to hear it from both sides of the whole thing. How about mom dealing with the two of you guys talking about it? Because, both of you are very strong willed and very determined. So at some point, somebody's coming home in tears.
Yes, it's not me for sure. I'm just kidding. But I bet it's really hard for her just to like watch both sides and just try to pick one. I mean, she definitely doesn't pick one, but in her head she knows. But usually I'm in the wrong, which is probably bad. But yeah.
Well, it's pretty cool that your sister Tabby, she nominated you for this prestigious honor. She didn't want you to know that, but pretty cool that she did that. And here
Mhm.
you are winning the trophy as the best in Texas.
Yeah, that's amazing. I definitely didn't know that, obviously. And she has really good faith in me, and she's my sister. I love her. And as a coach, she's the best. I love her.
Well,
Mhm.
she's a first year coach there, and talk about how she's been able to change the culture there because we see just tremendous chemistry between you and the other girls. We see it on the double plays when you're over there at shortstop. How has she changed the culture there at school?
She definitely has a different coaching style. She's strong-willed and she makes us respect her, which is amazing. We should respect our coaches. And she has just been a good asset to our team.
Well, you're not only a great player on the field, but you are unbelievable in the classroom. You're in the top three of your class academically with over a 4.0 GPA. You will graduate with your associate's degree on the college level when you graduate from high school. Most kids don't do that. Why is the classroom so important to you, and how do you find time for all this?
It's definitely I definitely have to work and find time management for real. But um let's see. I take pride in it because it shows how much I work hard in and out of sports and in school. And it's definitely for myself and for my family. Like it shows how much my dedication is to, being good in school and being good in sports.
I can't even imagine going to high school and college at the same time academically, and
Mhm.
you have a part-time job. How do you find all the time for all this, and how do you have the determination to do that and not just want to sit on your couch and play video games like every other kid?
I stay up late some nights and I work on my homework. I study hard. I get really good grades. But that's just because my dedication is there and I want to do good. I want to get scholarships. I want to get into college, which I am. And I just I just like having that validation, academic validation.
Well, I know from a softball perspective, your sister has been an amazing athlete. She started playing when she was 3 years old. But for you, when you started with T-ball, you would actually sit on home plate with your coloring book. So when was it that you actually fell into love with the game that you became the star that you are today?
Probably freshman year. It's definitely I had really good seniors that year. They always are like my freshman, my little freshman. And they made it a family and they made me love it.
Well, I think
Mhm.
about what you've done. You've definitely made it work very well. You know, you've been top newcomer in the district, second team, first team All State, team MVP. Do you sense something special with this team that you have this year?
Yes, I think we obviously we have a different coach. I mean, I loved my last coach last year, but she has she has made us run a lot. We have conditioned, and I think that dedication has gone to the girls and made us a better team.
I think about your district. It is so difficult. You look at Bushland, who could win it all, Shallow Water, River Road. I mean, 9 in and 9 out in your district. It is an absolute battle of small school heavyweights. Do you think it makes you road tested and gets you more prepared for the playoffs to make that big run because you're just trying to survive in district?
Yes, and we played Bushland actually yesterday, on Monday, and it was definitely a learning experience. They're an amazing team. They hit home runs every game. I mean, it's just those are the times where you can have fun and like do your thing and strive and like try your hardest, even though they're a good team.
Well, it's been very impressive that you've been able to start since your freshman year in softball. You don't see that very often. And you've also been a major star with the volleyball team in the libero position. How much have you enjoyed playing volleyball with the girls and really being the center of attention in that position?
I love volleyball. I love the fast pace. I think it's just amazing. And I definitely don't like being in the spotlight as much. Um, it's just nerve-wracking, but my teammates are there for me and they make it so much better.
What kind of lessons have you learned from volleyball coach Nicole Guidry, who also, has taught you in other sports as well? What are the lessons you've learned from her, and how has volleyball helped your softball?
She has taught me how to try my hardest, definitely. And she was my coach last year and the years before, and she has also done the same, and she's just amazing coach.
Who are some of the girls that you've really enjoyed going to battle with there at Dalhart?
Like my teammates,
Yeah.
um, definitely my pitcher, Sydney. She's amazing, and I love her. She's always there for me, and she's a good athlete as well.
She's a superstar that really leads that rotation, isn't she?
Hmm.
I know you guys feed off of that. Well, your parents have been so supportive of you and your siblings, driving you around all these games and tournaments. How much have they meant to you?
My mom always goes to every game. I know she'll be there. She gets us water. She's amazing. And she's definitely a softball mom and a volleyball mom and a coach mom.
Well, I know you've gone through a lot in your young life. You're actually a twin, and your twin sister passed away at 6 months of age. How are you able to overcome that? And are there ever moments in your life now that you kind of wonder what it would be like if she was alive today?
Mhm. We would probably be fighting, honestly. But I do wonder that, would she be the same as me? Like, would we play the same sports? Would she be, like academically gifted or, but
Well, you're such an impressive young lady. I mean, I think about you being the vice president of the National Honor Society there. Academics are so important to you, and you've also been the homecoming queen. What was that like? How much did you enjoy that experience?
I loved it. And then the homecoming court, they're my best friends. They're amazing. And they all supported me. I supported them, win or lose. It was just amazing to represent my student body and just be out there in front of people, all dressed up.
Well, I know your parents, they moved the whole family from the Rio Grande Valley area all the way up to Dalhart, some more than a decade ago. How would you describe that Dalhart community? Because it's so tight knit and everybody knows everybody. How has it shaped your family?
Definitely everybody knows everybody. And when we came in here, nobody knew us, of course, and we had to start fresh. And it was just amazing. They were very welcoming and supportive of us.
So I hear that you have a little touch of celebrity. You were once on vacation in Hawaii and you bumped into a famous TikTok person. Tell us about that and who it is.
Oh, her name is Reina. I forgot her last name, but she's like this food um competitor, when they eat a lot of food in a small amount of time. And I was just like, "Oh, that's her." Like, what? And then we took a picture together and it was amazing just to see a celebrity.
And the thing is, she's so little. She eats all that food, but she's so little. I don't know how she pulls that off.
Yes.
You also won tickets to a Flatland Calvary concert, and they signed one of your thousands of home run balls because you have so many of them. What was that experience like to go backstage and meet those guys?
It was amazing. I love them. I love their music. And I having that ball signed, it was like one of a kind. I was like, "Oh my gosh." It made me so excited.
What were they like being around?
They're amazing. They're very, like just us, we're talking and just normal. Mm.
Well, I know you have a lot of options going to the next level in college. Obviously, you're so strong in academics, you could also play in athletics. Where do you see yourself going to college, and what route do you want? Do you think you'll continue your softball game?
I think I might go to either West Texas A&M or Texas Tech, but I don't see myself going and playing collegiate level. I love softball, but I just want to work on my academics and my career.
Well, I get the sense you might be president one day. You're just that smart. I could see you doing that. Well, we're going to continue to follow you. And, it's so great to talk to you, Maddie, and celebrate you. A big congratulations on being the Class 3A Greater Texas Ford Dealers Female Athlete of the Month.
Thank you so much.
Your Greater Texas Ford Dealers is so proud to recognize the hard work, dedication, perseverance, and passion of so many Texas high school female athletes who inspire us all. Here's this month's winners. And don't forget, you can see their interviews at Greater TX Ford for Greater Texas Ford Dealers. From Class 1A to 6A, plus private schools, we celebrate them all. Thanks so much for watching the Greater Texas Ford Dealers inaugural Female Athlete of the Month. See you next time.